Ringo, RINGOTV Reactions. Back at you again with another one. Make sure you rate, comment, and subscribe. We're pretty much going to talk and pretty much share our commentary about another video, another brother, pretty much a video titled, I'm tired of working a 9-to-5. I'm tired of working a 9-to-5. This is coming from the YouTube channel, Long Live Langston. Long Live Langston. When I first moved to North Carolina, I was pretty much searching videos all over YouTube about North Carolina, and his channel pretty much came up. I'm not sure if he's in the Charlotte area or whatever the case is, but he pretty much talks a lot about Charlotte, North Carolina, and different topics on different things. So let's get into this particular video. He's talking about the 9-to-5 and so on and so forth. Let's hear what he got to say.
When I was younger, I know what y'all gonna say. For some of you all that, you know what I'm saying, subscribe to my channel. Oh, here we go, Langston with these same stories again. When I was 16 years old, my mother, I don't like to say that, my grandmother's husband, I ain't gonna say step grandfather, all of that stuff. Anyway, my grandmother's husband had me go outside and cut the grass, and he had a chainsaw, and he was cutting down trees in the backyard, you know, of my grandmother's house, right? And he said, "Yeah, let's take a break," right? So we took a break, sat down, and as he was putting oil inside the chainsaw, he was like, teaching me, I guess, how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Growing into a man. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Yeah, man. As soon as you graduate from high school, if you choose not to go to school or whatever have you, you can go ahead and get you a job and start working early. So 30 years later, you can retire and this and that and so forth." And no lie, this is my word. When he said 25 to 30 years later, I just heard wah, 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 wah. You know that Charlie Brown joint? I know some of you young folks ain't never seen Charlie Brown, but Charlie Brown used to have his teacher, and the teacher just be like, wah, 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 wah. That's all I heard.
And the reason why he heard it is because he's looking at the situation like, hold up, 20 to 30 years, what? So hold on, I'm gonna be working all these years, struggling at this job. So this is what y'all telling me? Because, when you growing up, your family always telling you, go to school, go get a job. They never tell you to start a business. They never tell you to be an entrepreneur. They never tell you to do something like invent something. They never do that. In the Black community, we're always taught to just go get a job. And it's because it's coming from people who never broke the mold. It's coming from people who never broke the generational curses. So they're only going to pass down what they've been doing, which is, they pass down debt, they pass down mediocrity. It's like they don't give us nothing different. You see, as a parent, as a loved one, you ought to instill values in the youth so that they could be better than you. But it's like with our people, they never teach us anything to be successful. They just set us up to fail. Go work a job. Well, why can't we all get together and have a business? How come nobody think like that? Everybody just want to work at this 9-to-5. And it's a tradition where everybody's doing the same thing. And this is why a lot of families can't even come together, because nobody really have time. Because they got to be at this job all day. Let's go.
That's all I heard. And throughout all my years, men have been teaching me how to be a man. And it's always based on getting a job and working hard. And it's crazy because my earlier years, my young adult years, I tried that. I tried to get 1 or 2 jobs, juggle three jobs at one time, working overtime and working hard as I could. And I just got burnt out. And it just one day, it just dawned on me. It's like, yo, man, what am I working for?
Now, he said that he got burnt out. The reason why you got burnt out is because you're not at the place you're supposed to be. If you're at a job and you're burning out, you're not where you're supposed to be. It's not really that the job is burning you out. You're at a dead-end job that's not going nowhere. Like I said, when I was on a 9-to-5, I never had no complaints about the 9-to-5. I loved the job that I used to do. I could do the job for free. to be honest with you. If I was in New York right now and they offered me to just come to the job to just kind of work again and whatnot, I would turn that down, obviously, but I would be like, yo, I don't mind coming in for the week and work for free. Just to hang out at the job and do the old stuff I used to do again. I love the job. I really did. Those of you that watch any of my old videos where you saw me doing my job at the 9 to 5, I really love the job. So if you're getting stressed out, burnt out, it's because you're at the wrong place. You're at the wrong place and your pay is most likely not good. Because if your pay is good, I guarantee you, you're not going to be burnt out. It's normally the pay that's not good and the workload is too extreme. And if you're at a job like that, you're at the wrong place. You need to leave that job as soon as possible because basically it's going to stress you out to the point where you're going to get a heart attack or a stroke on the job, right? Let's get back to the tapes.
That's real talk. Because some may think that slavery is over and it's not.
See, the person in the chat that says love, who loves work? I love the job that I had because I had a career. See, there's a difference between a job and a career. I actually went and did a lot of studying, took a lot of exams, took a lot of training, and pretty much to develop my skill set in order to do this particular career, which is a job. But I love to do what I do. See, the thing that I'm looking at when I read your comment is that, number one, if you're at a 9 to 5 and you don't love what you do, then you're a horrible worker. Like people like you, I would not even hire. I'm just being honest with you. If I had a company and a business and that's your way of thinking, I would not hire you because you don't even love what you do. When you go and you apply for a job, right? If you don't love or like or have an interest in what you're doing to earn you money to take care of your family, then you're in the wrong place. You know what I mean? Like seriously, if you're at your job doing it and you don't even like it, then you're a horrible person. That it translates into every area of your life. Imagine going to the hospital and this nurse don't even like her job. Well, obviously she's not going to help you when it comes to medical help. She's going to literally make you die. Why? Because you don't even want to be there. She don't even like to work. So anything you do, you got to like what you do. Imagine going to a fast food place. You go into McDonald's to get some burgers and fries, but the cashier don't like what her job is. The burger guy that's flipping the burgers, he don't like his job. Well, he's going to ruin your food. Why? Because he don't even like his job. So the fries are going to be jacked up. The burgers are going to be jacked up. He ain't going to put no pickles. He's going to ruin your whole order. You know why? Because he don't even like what he's doing. Whatever you do, if you don't like what you do, then you need to quit because you're going to end up causing people a lot of problems. You know what I mean? I understand you stressed out. You don't like your job. That's your problem. You signed up for a job that you don't like. That's not the job's fault. You're in the wrong place. It's just that simple. Let's get back to the tapes.
The reality of it is they just expanded slavery. They diversified slavery.
I disagree, bro. This has nothing to do with slavery. This is what's another thing with black people we got to stop. We got to stop calling everything slavery. You having a job at a 9 to 5 is not slavery. You think like a slave. That's the problem. Because at the 9 to 5, you got white men at the 9 to 5, you got Asian people at the 9 to 5, and you don't see them complaining. When you see Chinese people at a Chinese restaurant working, they work as a unit, they work as a family. This is a family-owned business. Do you understand? They're not in there complaining about their day's work. This is a business. If they don't do their job to the best of their abilities, their family gonna be on the street. As black people, we're always complaining about slavery. Somebody got to work, fam. Somebody got to lift up the boxes. Somebody got to do this job. You know what I mean? If you go start a business today, you're going to need help running your business efficiently. So you're going to have to hire people. So are you telling me that the people that are working for you are slaves? Are you going to tell me it's slavery? No, it's not slavery. This is the way you think. So as black people, especially black men, because we're supposed to be leading the black woman and the children, at the end of the day, if we keep thinking like a slave, we're never going to be able to grow and rise in society, fam. We got to think like men and think like business people. Let's go.
No lie. So Caucasians think just because they got some little bit of white privilege, you know what I'm saying, that they're not slaves.
Why would you want white people to think like they're slaves? See, this is the problem again. In the black community, fam, too many black men and women think like slaves, where they just constantly, everything that is slavery. Fam, nobody is making you be at a 9 to 5. Nobody's making you be there. Nobody's saying this is slavery. In slavery, nobody got paid. When you go to a 9 to 5, you work for a wage. So if you sign up for a job and all they pay you is X, Y, and Z, that's what you settled for. That's what you settled for. See, do you have a college degree that can put you in a position in some sort of company? Hello? No, you don't. Okay, so whatever job you signed up for, that's what you settling for. Could you negotiate your salary? Or you just took what they gave you? You took what they gave you. How much y'all paying? $15 an hour? Fam, it makes no sense to complain about something that you signed up for. That ain't slavery. That's life. Somebody got to work. When you go to the fast food restaurant, somebody got to flip them burgers. You go to Lowe's, somebody got to stock those boxes. Ain't no slavery going on in them places. You got to work. Everybody has to work. Everybody got to do something. You know what I mean? We can't call everything slavery, and just because what that's going to do is going to make people have this mindset of, I don't got to do nothing. So then how you going to earn? How you going to earn $1 if you don't got to work? How do you earn money? Nobody earn money sitting on their ASS. Nobody earns $1 sitting on their ASS. If you don't got no $1 million plans, some sort of business, some sort of investments, you ain't making no money, fam. You fooling yourself. Let's get back to the tapes.
Anyone that comes to this country that works, doesn't make a difference what you do. You participate in the infrastructure of America. You pay your taxes. Your currency is U.S. currency. Anyone that works in this country is a slave.
I disagree. That don't even make no sense, fam. I understand, you're frustrated. You know what I mean? I understand the points you're trying to make, but now it went from I don't want to work at a 9 to 5 to everybody in the country is a slave. That makes no sense, because if you a person who said I'm tired of working a 9 to 5, right, and you want to work and or do something else to earn money, then what if you want to start a business? Are you going to hire people? Because if you do, are they your slaves? Nah, we got to stop thinking like that, man. I really think that the black man and black woman got to get out of this slavery mindset, because at the end of the day, slavery is over in terms of the transatlantic slave trade. That is over, right? We live in a capitalistic society. Everybody have the opportunity to earn. The problem is our people are lazy. That's just the stone cold truth. Our people are lazy. They want somebody to hand them everything, and they'll get jealous of another black man or black woman that is doing anything that's making them be successful. And they'll start to hate you if you're shining. Because when you're down and out like them, they don't got a problem with you. But if they see you driving nice, living nice, oh, now they don't like you. They'll all team up not to like you. But if you're in the slums like them, oh, they love you. So I disagree when he said about slavery. I totally disagree with that. Let's go.
Because the reality of it is they sell you on this. In order to live here, in order to be productive, in order to be a citizen of the United States of America, spelled with 3 Ks, you have to work.
You don't have to work. You can just stay home and die. You don't have to work. At the end of the day, see, again, I understand his frustration, but the way he going about it, it's not going to make the audience go down the path that he's really trying to get. All that's going to attract is lazy folk that have a slave mentality of the oppressor is oppressing me. Nobody is making you work at any job. You went to that job and you asked for a position in the job. You fill out the application. You went through the interview process. Nobody put you in slavery. You volunteered and signed up. Nobody whipped you in chains and brought you in there and said you got to work and they forced you to work. No, you made the choice. So that's not slavery. You settled to be at a company that ain't paying you well. The politics of the job is trashy. The atmosphere is trashy. And you're just lazy. At the end of the day, you're lazy. You don't want to make moves. You don't want to do better. You think like a slave. You blame everybody else for why you struggling. I mean, this is why I don't hang around nobody, fam. I cannot hang around black folk that is always talking about poverty, always talking about slavery. You never hear them talk about anything productive. They not focusing on no money. All they talking about, I got bills. Man, I'm struggling. Man, I can't do that. Man, stay away from me, fam. Because I don't want to hear none of that, man. Real talk. Let's get back to the tapes.
And the purpose of this video is to let you all know that the reality of it is that you don't have to.
Now, he just said the reality is you don't have to work. No, every man have to work. Everybody got to work. Somehow, some way, you got to do some work. Everything in life is work. Even if you're working for yourself, you got to work. Money ain't gonna come in by me just sitting on this chair and I'm just sitting here and I'm not using my cameras and I'm not using my equipment and I ain't putting out no content and I ain't doing nothing, but I'm just sitting here, you know what I'm saying? Just sitting here, them bills are gonna start piling up and I'm gonna be looking around like, man, I'm gonna have to start getting to work. You see what I'm saying? So everybody gotta work. You gotta do something to earn. To say we don't supposed to, then how is the world gonna go around? One hand washes the other. If you're a farmer, you got to work. If you're a fisherman, you got to go out there with your fishing rod and you got to put in the work in order to catch fish. Everything requires work. If you're a mechanic, you need customers that got cars that need repairs. Everybody got to work. Having a mindset of, oh, you know, this slavery, you know, it's really not meant for you to work. Fam, I don't know what world you live in where you think that we're not supposed to work. How do we build houses without teamwork? Who's building a house by themselves? Who's building a house by themselves with no help of other men? How that's going to get done? How are skyscrapers going to be built up if nobody works? We won't have nothing. How is the infrastructure going to be built if men are not coming together to work? Again, we got to stop this slavery mentality. This is why in the black community, we can never grow because none of us want to work together. We have a selfish mentality. This is why we can't work together. Let's go.
Now I know what you're gonna say. Oh, Langston, man, how you telling me you don't have to work, man? In order to pay your bills, in order to pay your rent, your light bill, your phone bill, and all the rest of the stuff, you gotta work, and this and that, and so forth, and blah 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 blah. That's what they sold you on.
Nah, disagree, fam. It's not about what they sold you on. At the end of the day, everybody got to work to survive. You know what I mean? Somebody had just wrote in the comments, said a 9-to-5 is looked down on in the hood. That's because a lot of dudes like to sit around the projects smoking weed and drinking Henny and living in their mom's crib. That's all they do all day. And then they end up getting women pregnant. And because these women get pregnant, these women stay with these bum ninjas. And then these guys are in and out of prison, selling weed and other junk in order to make $1. None of them work a job. And that's true. In the hood, a lot of black men don't work. All they do is sit on the ASS and they pretty much live it with their mom and ain't doing a damn thing. And a lot of these guys be in their 30s and 40s, living in the hood, in the projects, living in their mom's crib. Happens every single day, right? Because they don't want to work. They don't want to do nothing. They lazy and they want to sit on their ASS all damn day.
That's what they sold you on. The oligarchies of the world. The 1%ers of the world. And we put one another in check. Like a woman would not deal with a man that ain't had a job.
Well, they made a song back in the day. If you don't have a job, you can't be with me. Y'all remember that back in the day? That's because women were focusing on a job. They weren't focusing on a man. They were focusing on his wallet. They didn't really care about the man. If you don't have a job, you can't be with me. Come on now. And she says there's nothing but the rent. Meaning, if you don't got no job, you can't hit. Same thing today. That song came out back in the day. Today it's worse. A lot of women just focusing on money. This is why I tell you guys, hit the gym, leave women alone, and just stack your bread and focus on your business, man. Because if you get with a woman, chances is she's gonna only want money. And the older she is, the more she's going to want money. Believe it or not. If you get with a woman in her 20s or whatever the case is, she likes the fast life. You know what I mean? She likes to go shopping. That's pretty much what the 20-year-olds want to do. 30-year-olds, they want, to settle down a little bit. They want a little security. 40-year-old woman, she's looking for a guy that's already established, got a house already, cars, this, that, 401k, money, savings. She's looking for a guy that got all these trimmings right away. And if you don't have none of those things and you come up to her and you're like a guy that's now starting out your life, starting to build, she ain't going to deal with you. She ain't going to deal with you. You know what I mean? The only way she'll deal with you is if you lay in pipe. If you a guy, you lay pipe, then, you know what I mean, she might take care of you. And typically, most of those women, they end up with a Pookie and Ray Ray, in whom they take care of. They buy him Jordans. They make his drip. His drip is on point. Dude is a straight up bum living in this woman's house, driving her car around. A lot of ladies settle for that, fam. And then they end up being single moms. It's really sad. Let's get back to the tapes.
You go to the cookout, that's the first thing your family asks you. Hey, what you doing? Hey, man, how you doing, man? What you doing these days? And based on what you say, far as your occupation, that will determine whether they'll have a conversation with you.
That's true. That part I agree with. A lot of times it really do be like that. It's like you go to family functions. This is why I stay away from family and everybody, because they always in your business and they judge you based on where you are in terms of your work and whatnot. And when you don't got nothing, nobody want to talk to you in the family. Nobody really cares. They see you as an outcast. They look down on you. They talk about you. They gossip about you. But the day you rise up and you really start doing well for yourself, man, that's when your family start to hate you. They start to distance themselves from you because in their minds, you're not supposed to have this. You have to understand the odds are really against us as black men. A lot of you black men and women, at the sound of my voice, there was a time in your life when you didn't have nothing. There was a time in your life where you probably was raised in the hood, in the projects, in the ghettos, in the slums, or maybe you was raised in a suburban community and whatnot, and you had the resources, you had the parents that was able to guide you, and you were able to better yourself. But if you're a person that came from the bottom and rose to any sort of success, I can promise you, you have your own testimonies and stories of how your friends, family, and everybody literally turned their back on you, literally hate you, literally are jealous of you because they never believed in you. And the thought of you just even making it to that level, man, it really grieves them and burned them up because it's like every time they see and hear about you, it's always something positive. They're like, man, I remember when that person didn't have a car. I remember when they didn't have a place to live. I remember they had no bed. They slept on the floor. Now this person is doing well. Come on, man. They never happy for you, fam.
I'll pay you any attention of mine. I'll give you an example. If you say, hey, what you doing these days? I'm a trash man. I collect trash. Oh, okay. I see you later, man. Well, what you doing these days? Well, I'm studying to be a lawyer, and an attorney and blah, blah. Then they'll have a conversation with you.
That's because they're focusing on money. See, if you're a brother, as long as you got a 9 to 5 and you're a man, then, you should get the respect that you deserve because you're out there on the hustle and bustle. You're doing what you got to do. You're not in prison. You're not selling drugs. You're not doing anything illegal. So at the end of the day, if you're a black man and you at the 9 to 5, it doesn't matter how much you get paid a year. I got respect for you by the pure fact you're doing something with your life. The problem that I got is a man that don't want to do nothing. A man that just want to sit on his ASS and complain about the white man, complain about slavery, and he ain't doing nothing to better himself or take care of his kids. That kind of man is a disgrace. Those type of men I cannot never respect because they're waiting for someone else to do everything for them. They don't want to put in the work. Again, it's about putting in the work. You know what I mean? A lot of black men in today's day, believe it or not, they're lazy. They don't want to work. They don't want to do anything productive, but they get jealous of the next man who's doing something with his life and they complain and complain and complain. It's really sick. And this is why a lot of times when you have black men or women that rise to a certain level, you don't see them helping nobody. You don't see them rocking with nobody. They stay away from their people because our people have a mindset of wanting a handout. They want everything for free. They want the hookup. They don't want to go through the struggle. They don't want to put in the work. They don't want to go through the pain. They don't want to go through it. When a woman brings forth a baby, she go through the contractions. She go through the labor pains. before the birth actually take place. And then once the pain and the suffering is over, she have the baby in her hand. That's the way it is in life when it comes to success. You got to go through the struggle. You got to go through the contractions. You got to go through the pain. You got to push, push, push until you birth the reality of that thing you always been hoping for. But it's never going to come if you don't give it time to cultivate. If you don't cultivate your dreams, your goals, your ambitions, if you ain't putting in that work, if you ain't laying the foundation, a lot of stuff that y'all trying to get, you got to lay the foundation first. You got to lay the foundation. You got to plant the seeds. Success ain't going to happen overnight. You got to be planting seeds throughout the years. You got to plant seeds. You got to water them seeds. You got to do other things. You got to put seeds in the ground so you can get that harvest in due time. A lot of people don't understand this. Let's get back to the tapes.
I saw on YouTube, it was a compilation of people that are tired of working a 9 to 5 from TikTok. Young people. And man, my hat goes off to you. Because young folks these days are saying, man, my mother and my father worked their asses off and they did this and they did that, and now they old and they ain't really got shit. I'm not going to be one of them. I'm going to find a way to get out of this matrix. And that's what I call breaking the generational spell that has been casted on us, specifically African Americans.
There really is no spell. The problem is so-called black people, or what you wouldn't call African Americans, because we're really not African and we're not even American. These are bywords that they place on us. Our people is just lazy. It's just that's as simple as it gets. Our people are lazy. You know what I mean? They just don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? That's why they created welfare. That's why they created WIC, food stamps, you name it. And when you come to the hood in any predominantly black community, this is what you see. The women is on public assistant. You know what I'm saying? They getting this, they getting that. It's like they just automatically, as they grow, their mom would tell them, once you get pregnant, we could put you on this, you could get on WIC, you could get on welfare, you know what I mean? You'll be able to get an apartment. And it's like a generational thing that get passed down. Nobody teaches us to start a business, to get some education. We frown upon those things. People look at you as a bum or a lame if you're at the library. If you're a person who want to study more and read books, they look at you as a loser. But it's always those brothers that were in their books studying today. Those brothers are very successful right now because they put in the work. So the truth of the matter is there's no real major issue. It's just that our people are lazy. That's the major problem in today's day. And they're going to hate you if you decide to better yourself and your people see you better in yourself. They're not going to like you for it.
Haven't we worked hard enough? Straight up. And I know what some of you non-blacks are going to say. Here we go. Langston pulling that race card again. I'm not pulling no race card. I'm pulling a business card.
Business card. Look, again, I understand him saying he's tired of working a 9 to 5, you know, but in order to do a business card, you have to have a business. So if you don't want to work a 9 to 5, then you got to create a business. To create a business is going to take work. You're going to need resources in order to finance this business. See, the thing with black folk is they don't understand economics. You can't run a business. You don't even got credit. What your credit score looking like? You'd be surprised how many black men don't even have credit. They don't got no credit. Literally, you have a lot of black men in today's day, they don't even got credit. How you gonna survive in a world and do business with no credit? Like, it don't even make no sense. These are things that gotta be taught. You understand? To start a business, you gotta educate yourself. You gotta be a disciplined man to run a business. You just cannot say today, well, I wanna stop working at the 9 to 5, I'm gonna start my own business. That's never gonna happen. To start your own business is gonna take discipline. Because if you were really that educated and really disciplined, you wouldn't be on that 9 to 5. You would have been had a business. If it was that easy to do, you would been have a business. I don't wanna hear nothing. Somebody gotta work, fam. I don't care how much you hate the 9 to 5. Somebody gotta work at that 9 to 5. Until you develop yourself enough to when it's time for you to move forward, you gonna be at that job. You can hate it as much as you want. Somebody got to work. Don't get mad at the job. Don't get mad at what they pay you. If you don't like it, quit. Quit complaining. Quit complaining, quit the job, and go out there and make something of yourself. But don't complain that this is about slavery or, they just trying to oppress us. Nobody ain't doing nothing to us today, fam. It's all in our mind, man. We be making too many excuses for everything, man. That's why I don't like being around ninjas, bro. Because all they do is complain. All they do is hate. All they do is be jealous. They're never happy for you. They never congratulate you. And during your struggle, they were never there to support you. During the entire struggle of you trying to get to the next level, your people were never there, fam. All they did is put you down. And then when you finally get to your destination, now they hate you even more. It's crazy.
Because there's nowhere in the United States of America spelled with 3 Ks these days where you can get free labor like they got from us over 400 years.
Your credit dropped because you made a purchase or you did something. It doesn't mean that your score is or you're doing bad. A credit score of 734 is very, very good. You have an excellent credit score. 734 is an excellent credit score. My credit score is 850. Very, very good. But at 734, your credit score is very good. That's a good credit score. That's a very, very good credit score like that. Because it dropped, it doesn't mean that you did something wrong. It just means that you probably recently had a purchase. Maybe your balance of the amount of credit that you have, you use a little bit too much. There's a certain threshold of credit. You probably have a recent purchase that you probably paying off right now. And because you did that, it drops down a little bit. It's going to go back up as you pay whatever it is that you're doing right now, because I can guarantee you that will happen. If your credit score dropped, you recently just did something. That's what happened. But it's going to go back up once you finish. Let's get back to the tape.
So this is not a race card. This is a business card, my nigga.
You want to pay your credit? Listen, if you have purchases and it's on your credit card or whatever the case is, you want to pay your bill when, like how when they send you the notice saying your monthly statement is ready, and now you know when you're about to, like when your bill is due. Once they send you that monthly statement, right? Once you get that notification, right? You send in a payment, right? Once you send in that payment, right? It's gonna hit twice, right? Now watch how this thing works. Once they send you your monthly statement and they say, okay, let's say it's the 19th, and they tell you, okay, your bill is due September 12th, right? But you got the notification today. You send in a payment today. You send in a payment today. You send that in, boom. Now, we're still in August, but you sent in your payment, right? So now you wait. Once it hits September 1st, you send in another payment. And then when it hit the 12th, the due date, you already done paid it. But now that's gonna affect your credit score because you're so good at paying off your bills to these lenders, your credit score is gonna increase. You're gonna see it increase and increase because you're not just waiting until the due date to pay. You're paying it in advance. So to the creditor, they're looking at like, wow, this person must be doing good. Let me tell you something. Have you ever been paying off your bills and your creditor will send you a notice asking you to update how much money you make a year? You know why? Because they can't trap you in debt. So they want to increase your credit line. Have you ever got one of those notices where they want you to update how much you make a year? Because they're trying to figure out how you're able to pay your bills because they're watching all your bills. So it's not just the credit card you're paying. They're looking at every single thing you're doing and they're trying to figure out how are you able to pay this, pay that, pay this, pay that. You must be making way more money. Please update your yearly salary. Could you update your yearly salary? That's why they send you those notices because somehow you didn't update it, but you're able to pay off all these bills you got. and your credit score is going to continue to go up. So if it drops a little bit, it means you probably made a big purchase. There's something that you did, but I can guarantee you, if you pay that off, your credit score is going to shoot all the way up to damn near 800 and something. And it's going to stay there. And it's going to look real good, because if you walk in a bank with an 800 plus credit score, you could get major loans. And if you have a business credit, fam, you could literally get hundreds of thousands of dollars to start a business. That's why credit is so important. But a lot of people in the quote unquote black community, they don't take any of this stuff serious. They look at me and they laugh, but they don't understand how to do anything, fam. Let's go.
That's not how you conduct business. That's real talk.
You never pay the minimum payment on anything. Anytime you have any sort of credit or anything that you owe, you never pay the minimum payment. You never do that. That don't make no sense, because you're never going to pay the bill. You're never going to pay the loan. You know what I mean? If let's say you have a car, right? And your car note is $1,000. You don't pay $1,000, fam. Not when they got interest and other things attached to that, fam. No, you don't do that. If you got to pay $1,000, let's say your car payment is $1,000, $1,100, whatever the situation is, you pay way more than that, fam. You pay like damn near $1,600. Forget paying $1,000. No, pay like $1,600 or $2,000. You see what I'm saying? You want to pay that thing down. You know what I mean? And here's another thing. Here's another trick. Here's another trick that I learned when it comes to stuff like, let's say, for example, with a car payment, right? You want to know this little trick? It may seem like nothing to you, but it's actually a trick, right? Let's say your payment is $1,100, right? You pay more than that. So now your next month rent, or not rent, your next month car note, it's not going to be the same amount. It's going to be lower. But what you do is you continue paying $1,600. And then every month, the car payment is going to be like, what, $300 or whatever the case is. If you do the math, it's going to be like $300, $400. So now, because of that, because you're paying more, you're actually winning the more you do that. It's like you're tricking the system. If you really do the math on what I just finished saying, you're actually benefiting doing it that way. Rather than just waiting to pay a monthly payment of a certain amount, you're losing every time you do that. Always pay more and leave it like that. So again, if your car note is $1,100, pay $1,600. When you do that, the next month car note is going to be lower. Pay another $1,600, and keep doing that, and keep doing that, and you're going to see the benefits of doing that. It's going to help your credit out tremendously, fam, because they're going to be looking at you like, damn, this person knows how to do what they're doing. And always pay it before it's due. Always pay it before it's due. That's the best thing you can do. Always pay it before it's due. Let's go.
And somebody said, well, listen, what are you doing these days? Man, I'm living. That's all you should be concerned about. I ain't clocking in and out of somebody's job. I'm living. I make my money however I make my money. I don't have to get up in the morning and deal with rush hour. Don't you think that that's a problem? That everyone gets up at 9, everyone gets up at the same time, got to be at work at the same time and get off at the same time.
I don't think that's a problem. I think that's how society functions, because it's either we're going to do that or we got to get up somehow. I mean, even if you're working for yourself, you got to get up in the morning and work, right? Somebody got to rush. Somebody got to work, fam. I don't see it as a problem. I see it that everybody has to work. If you're complaining, if you don't like where you are, you just got to do something to make it better. Let's not complain and make it seem like this is slavery. The white man is oppressing me. Nobody's doing that to you. You could quit today. If you don't like your job, quit. See how that feels when you don't got no food. See how that feels when your rent is due and you don't got no money to pay it. So until you're able to get out of the rat race, until you're able to get out of this mess that you're in, this dilemma, right? You're going to have to cope and deal with the issues. You're going to have to deal with it, fam. Rather than doing overtime to earn more money, just get your regular salary. Forget overtime. Because you know how it is on the 9 to 5. The more overtime you do, the more time you spend at the job. You don't got no time for your family, no time for yourself. And by the time it's the weekend, you rest a little bit and back again, you're there at that job. So rather than doing OT, just get your base salary and just be happy with that. And learn how to use that money, budget that money, save some money, live within your means. That's another problem with our people, is because we have needs and wants, we end up going in debt, right? We're living outside of our means. So now we're paying off all these different bills, but we're not bringing in more money. It's like we're spending more to pay off bills, but the money that's coming in is less. If you keep going that route, eventually you're going to hit that wall and you're going to be at rock bottom because you're only bringing in a certain amount of money. You know what I mean? Let's say, for example, you get paid, let's say you make about $4,000 a month, right? $4,000 a month after taxes, $4,000 a month, or whatever the case is, right? You're getting in that, right? But your expenses and your bills every month is somewhere around $6,000. So now you paying this debt, that debt, you got a car, you're doing this, you got your internet, you got your cell phone, you got this, that. It's like you're paying more. You got kids, you got all these different expenses. So now you really got to look at, okay, I got to really live within my means. I got to really budget. You know, your food bill, food is mad expensive. Depending on the state you live in, it'll be even more expensive. This is why, as a black man, black woman, you got to really think about where you living. Like if you live in New York, everything is expensive. If you move out of New York to anywhere, it's going to be like night and day. If you move out of New York to anywhere, you will be happy, especially in the South. You'll be way more happy because things is going to be way better. Guarantee you with that, fam. Insurance is going to be cheaper. Everything's going to be cheaper. In New York, your insurance is going to be too high. It's going to be too high in New York, fam. Depending on the make and model of the car that you have, your insurance is going to be very high. You know what I mean? Don't drive a Mercedes Benz. Not in New York. Because you don't got a garage, so you park your car outside, your insurance company going to put that insurance very high. These are facts. If you got a garage and you live in the South, your insurance is going to be totally different. Insurance is going to be low. But in New York, if you park your Mercedes on the streets, just because you park it on the streets, that's a liability. So they're going to put your insurance very high. So you got to do the math and look at where you living and start making sense of this. Like, look, I can't be out here too long. I got to move. I got to get up on out of here, man. If I want to really save money and really stack, I got to get up on out of here, man. You know? Because like what I realized in North Carolina is that there's a lot of opportunities to make money. There's a lot of opportunity. Let's say you're a brother and you're into doing like landscaping and stuff like that, fam. There's so many different houses, so many different communities. Man, you could literally start a landscaping business, bro. If you're really good with mowing lawns, doing any sort of yard work or whatever the case is, there's a ton of money literally sitting out here. Ton of money, fam, to be made. There's so many different communities you could go to and just start stacking bread, man. You making bread all damn day. You know what I mean? You can either do it by yourself or you can have a team and pretty much you do your thing. There's so many different opportunities, man. Pretty much a lot of people out here have businesses. There's a lot of farmers. You got businesses. You got a lot of, moving companies. You got companies where people move houses. Like, those houses that they move on trucks and they move houses and then they put them together. You got businesses like that. There's a lot of stuff out here, fam. There's really no excuses. There's a lot of things that you can do. That's why you have to expand your mind. This is why, for me, getting out of New York, that really helps me to really think, because it was just too stressful in New York. It's too fast paced. It's too much noise. Everything is expensive. Food is expensive. Everything is expensive, fam. Staying in New York, you'll go broke being in New York, fam. You'll be broke. Because what I learned out in North Carolina right now is that when it comes to fashion, I ain't saying people in North Carolina is bumming it out. But in North Carolina, what I see is that people ain't really all that into fashion like in New York. Now, don't get me wrong. You got some people that know how to dress and they do that probably like that in a city area, like in Charlotte somewhere. But for the most part, if you're like in certain suburban communities, fam, nobody don't care about your Jordans. Nobody don't care about the designer jeans you wearing. Nobody cares. Nobody comes outside with that type of stuff. It's nice. There's nothing wrong with you having it, especially if you want to go out. You know what I mean? But for the most part, you're going to be saving way more money because you're going to be living a certain way. You know what I mean? You're going to be stacking a little more bread because you're not going to be focusing on all this material stuff. If you're in New York, oh yeah, your drip matters, fam. If you live in New York, man, you got to be fly. And what I realized with black people, primarily, this is why we stay broke, is because we're already in the hood. So it's like, in order to feel good where we are, at least I could look fly. At least when I step out, I got some brand new kicks. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm in the hood, I'm struggling, but at least I look fly. But see, that's how we stay in the hood. That's how we stay broke, because we're too busy trying to keep up with the latest fashion. And it's like, we're not able to earn. We're not able to learn what we need to learn to move out, to make moves, because we're stuck. We're stuck looking fly, but we're not even trying to make any moves to better ourselves. And it's all psychological damage, fam. It's like a mental plague on our people, where we would rather look fresh than live in a nice area. Whereas if you live in a nice area, you don't even have to worry about being fresh. I mean, as long as your clothes is clean, you know what I mean? You good to go. But anyway, let's get back to the tape.
A lot of these jobs, no lie, a lot of these jobs create problems and they give the solution. Like, I ain't never seen so many sick people in my life. And they got a drug for every goddamn illness that you have. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
People are stressed at jobs because they're not supposed to be at the job, y'all. I keep telling you. Look, if you don't love what you do, you're not gonna like it. You're gonna be stressed out. You gotta love the job you do. That's like being an officer, but you don't like your job. You don't like your job. You're an officer, but you hate your job. It ain't gonna work for you. You gotta like your job, or you're not gonna be able to serve in that office. You know? If you're a dentist and you don't like your job, you're gonna destroy people's lives, man. You gotta like what you do. Seriously. You know? You got people that try to do social media, but for them, it's not for them. They get stressed out easy. This is hard work. People look at other people, they see how they do it, they think everything is easy. Listen, I'm a professional at what I do. And I haven't even got started to do what I need to do, because remember, I'm still getting the studio and stuff ready. But once the studio is popping, fam, man, it's gonna be like CNN studios up in here, fam. I'm not playing no games with this content, bro. We taking this thing to the next level. Like literally to the next level, fam. Really, really, really. But now other people will look at that and think, oh, it's easy. All I gotta do is just go get a camera and start talking. Okay, go do it. If it's that simple, go do it. If you think this is easy, go do it. You gotta have the gift of gab, fam. You gotta be able to communicate and spit words fluently. Ain't no script in front of me when I'm talking. This is me speaking truth. You know what I mean? When I do these reaction videos, or when I just share regular commentary, that's off the top of my head speaking. You know? You gotta be able to relate with the people. You gotta have a certain character about yourself. You know? Your tone, the way you deliver your words, the impact of your words. It gotta resonate with people to the point where they see themselves in your message. And then you offer solutions. And that's what helped them cope. Now they want to view you. They depend on you. You're a source of information for them. Can you become that? Because if you think it's all about turning on the camera and you're going to get a check, that ain't happening. You're going to get frustrated because it's just not for you.
If there weren't a thing called fast food, then you wouldn't have a lot of these sicknesses. But they go hand in hand with one another.
But see, here's the problem. I get where he's coming from. It seemed like he's going a little off topic because, again, his video title is "I'm tired of working at a 9 to 5," right? But he's talking about sicknesses and fast food and all this other stuff. That throws the audience off. If you're a content creator and you're talking about a topic, stay on topic. I understand sometimes we go off topic, but the truth of the matter is you got to stick to that topic of 9 to 5. In other words, why I'm tired of the 9 to 5. And then you got to offer solutions to the people on what they need to do. Somebody got to work at the 9 to 5. At the end of the day, when I was on a 9 to 5, like I said, I enjoyed the job, fam. I enjoyed the job. When I was working there, I enjoyed working at the job I was at. The pandemic literally came through. I didn't take that thing, so they let me go. It is what it is. That was the Most High's will for me. To the next level, I was going to be a supervisor. That was the next level. But he had different plans. You see what I'm saying? But I already done plan to leave the job in the next 2 years. I used to tell people that all the time on the job. I'm like, yo, the next 2 years, I'm out. And it was because I knew it was time for me to go. You know what I mean? It was time for me to go to the next level. You have to understand, people, you have one life, right? There's things that you got to do. You're not getting younger, you're getting older. You know what I mean? The young brother that I did the reaction video before this cat, he's 23. So he got a lot of time to pretty much get himself together. But if you're a brother in your late 30s or you in your 40s, you don't got no time to be out here playing games. It's now or never. So you got to strap on your boots and be about your business at this point. There's no time to be wasting when it comes to reaching your goal and your call. It's by any means necessary. I got to get to this next level. It's time for you to live. It's time for you to really experience life. Some of you brothers, you still trying to figure it out and you in your 40s. Like, come on now. You should know this already. You got cats in their 20s figuring this out and you in your 40s and you haven't figured it out yet. Come on, man. Stop blaming the white man. Stop blaming slavery. Let's get to work. We got work to do. Stop blaming all this negative stuff. Stop having a poverty spirit. You gotta be thinking big. If you want to rise high, you gotta think big. You gotta think real big, and you gotta separate yourself from people. If you want to be successful as a black man, you gotta separate yourself from everybody. You really gotta walk alone. That's the only way, because everybody gonna distract you from your goals. All your friends, all your people that's in the hood, everybody that you know, they're gonna talk you out of your blessings, man. And stay away from women. If you're trying to get this paper, you're trying to really rise high, you got to stay away from women. I ain't saying stay away forever, but it got to come a time in your life as a man that you literally go in hibernation mode for a whole year. And it's just you, the gym, and this bread. And that's it. That's all you thinking about. Because if you don't get this paper, if you don't go to this next level, fam, you're going to be miserable. A lot of you brothers, you know what I'm talking about. You know, yeah, you have the 9 to 5 right now. Yeah, you got to work. You might go through your struggles, but you know you're not supposed to be there. You know that deep down inside your heart. You know, as a man, you deserve more, right? But in order to get there, it's going to take work. It's going to take discipline. That's why you got to hit the gym. That's why you got to have a workout regimen. There got to be something that you do in terms of working out. Every man's supposed to be working out. Every last one of you brothers supposed to be doing something. That's why I keep telling you guys, do your 60 push-ups a day. I remember I gave that challenge a couple of months back, and I said 60 push-ups. Do your 60 push-ups every day, fam. 60 push-ups. Whether you could do them straight or you do them in increments. I need you to do them 60. Because that's gonna play with your mental game. Get your cardio going. Go cycling. Go jogging. Ride a bike. Do something. Run up and down some flights of stairs. Put in a workout. You got to sweat. Something that you got to do, man. Because if you get your fitness in order, you're going to start feeling good about yourself. You're going to start to shape up. You're going to lose that gut. You know, your woman going to notice. People going to notice. You're going to have that energy now to focus on that business. So physical health is very important. That's what I'm saying. As a man, you got to think positive. You can't think negative, right? You got to get your debt in order. You don't want to be in debt, swimming in debt all day. You want to get that in order too. But you got to hit that gym. You got to, and even if you don't want to go to a gym, let your house be a gym, your apartment be a gym. Go to the playground and do some calisthenics and let that place be a gym. It'll create peace for you. It'll help you with your mental health, fam. It'll keep you on point. Blank everybody else out. When you go to the park and you do your workout, put your earpieces in with some music and focus on your grind and get that money. And just be about your business. Keep everybody out of your business. Don't tell nobody about what your next move is. No friends. I don't need no company. I don't want no company. I'm rolling solo. I'm focusing on me. Got my health going. I'm drinking my water. My diet is better. You know what I mean? I ain't chasing skirts. You know, my testosterone is very, very high. I'm full of energy. I'm doing good. Now I'm focused. Now you can think clear. But if you hanging around a bunch of ninjas that ain't doing nothing, fam, you're going to go downhill, bro. First thing you got to do is get rid of them ninjas. You know, straight up. They're goal crushers. They're gonna distract you. Hey, yo, bro, you want to hang out, bro? We're going to smoke some weed, bro. Drink some Henny. Fam, bro, I got work to do. I got work to do, fam. You know? Real talk, man. You got to stay woke, man. These are things that I do. Listen, even when I'm out here and I do my workouts, fam, it's like I'm the only one out here. I don't see nobody else. I'm focusing on what I got to do, fam. Listen, you got one life. It's now or never, man. You got to grind. You got to do what you got to do. You got to put in the work. No procrastination allowed. No excuses. You're a man. It's time to be a man. Encourage yourself. Look in your mirror in your bathroom, on your wall. Look at yourself and tell yourself, I'm a man. I'm going to get this bread. I'm going to get this paper. I'm going to get this workout going. And you do what you got to do. And don't disappoint yourself. Hold yourself accountable. If you say you're going to do the workout, do the workout. Do the workout. Mark it in your book. I did my push-ups. I did my jogging. I did my cycling. You know what I'm saying? I did some calisthenics. I did this. Okay, I'm good, bro. I'm good for the day. You know what I mean? You did your squats. You ain't skipped leg day. You know? Then you focus on your business. Then you get some good food. You eating your vegetables, your fruits. You know what I mean? You got your multivitamins going. You getting the sunlight. You know what I mean? To recharge. You know? You do something like a hobby to get your mind clear, whether it's ride a motorcycle, maybe you play some basketball, maybe it's video games, you know, whatever it is, that's a hobby that could clear your mind to make you meditate a little bit. You need that too. If you're doing all of these different things as a man, there is no way you're not going to reach your goals because there's no distractions and you're growing stronger and stronger and stronger. That's why I say you got to leave these women alone when you're really focusing on your goal. I ain't saying you can't talk to a woman or chit chat, but that woman got to recognize that you about your business. She got to recognize that you about your paper, that you on this mission. You got to tell her, look, sis, I'm really feeling you right now. Everything is cool, but I'm going to let you know straight up and down. I'm really focusing on this work. So I'm going to kind of limit the amount of time that we chit chat because I really focus it on this business right here. I guarantee you that woman going to respect you. She going to respect you by the sheer fact that you focusing on this bread. You focusing on what you got to do. And if she really a true sister, she going to rock with you. But she going to give you that space because she recognizes you serious. Because a lot of times these women always complaining about a man as a bum and he's a this and he's that. But here you got a man that's letting her know, look, it is what it is. This is really more important to me than talking all damn day. I don't got time to talk for 3, 4, 5 hours. 3, 4, 5 hours I could be investing in this business. I could be reading a book. I could be watching tutorials, learning this trade. I don't got time to be talking about skirts for 3 hours. That ain't going to pay the bills, fam. Because I'm going to tell you straight up and down, that woman, she'll end up leaving you and walking out on you. But if you focus on your goals and your business and your work, Your business and your work is never going to leave you, fam. Why? Because it's a part of you. It's who you are. Let's get back to the tapes.
If you didn't have to work, then you can sit down and take the time out to prepare a home-cooked nutritional meal. But most of us gotta get up early in the morning, and the only thing we got time for, because we're in a rush, we in that gerbil's wheel, is food that can be prepared and cooked fast. 5-10 minutes, I get in line, hey, let me get a sausage biscuit, some pancakes, and some grape jelly, and some strawberry jelly. Okay, so that'd be 10:38. You drive up, give them these days you don't even, we in a cashless society, face it. You know what I'm saying? These days you just give your card. Boom, 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 the transaction is made, they come out with your food, and you driving en route to your job while eating. You don't even have time to sit down and eat that fast food.
I mean, he's right about you don't have time. And I know what he means. He's basically talking, like, I'm gonna pretty much react to this the right way. What he's basically speaking on is when you're on the hustle and bustle with the 9 to 5, you don't even got time to prepare a decent meal because you gotta get to work. So it's like you driving, you got your sandwich in one hand, you driving with this hand because you don't even got time to sit down and eat. You know what I mean? You're not even enjoying the food. And it's really sad, but there is really no excuse. Because as a man, let's say you're a man, you don't got a woman, right? You can literally cook. A lot of you guys, I don't get this, fam. Like every man at the sound of my voice supposed to know how to cook, fam. If you a man and you don't know how to cook, bro, something wrong with you, bro. Like seriously, you supposed to know how to cook. Because if you do, here's what you do, fam. You go get yourself a decent pot set, a decent pot set. You fix a big old pot of some rice. You know what I'm saying? You got some rice on the stove. You know what I mean? You could fix chicken, steaks, and whatnot. And you fix a big old pot where you got like food for like 2-3 days straight. 2-3 days, fam. Worth of food that you cooked it up in one night. And now you got lunch that you could take with you to work. You got food when you come home. You got to know how to improvise and plan ahead of time. You know what I mean? You could get cold cuts from the store. You can have sandwiches that you make from home, and then you stack them things. You bring them things with you to work or whatever your situation is. That way, you're not spending a bunch of money on fast food. You know what I mean? You're not spending all this money every single day, whereas you're making your own lunch. So rather than spending $20 every single day on lunch, that's ridiculous, man. That's a lot of money, fam. That's a lot of money. When you calculate $20 every day for a whole year, fam, that's a lot of bread you could have been stacking. You know what I mean? That $20 is groceries right there, man. Think about $20 every day for the whole week. That's some groceries you could have got. And you could have had food for the whole week. You go get yourself 5 things of chicken breast. Fam, you got food for the whole week. There's no excuses. You just don't want to put in the work.
You gotta eat that fast food quick. That's real talk. And I know some of y'all are looking to say, well, man, I'm just baffled over the whole thing. I'm about to stop this because Langston is being a real idiot right about now. He really is. What about your Social Security? What about your 401k? What about when you work? What about working and then when you retire? Your retirement plan, what kind of plan do you have?
People are spending way more money a month on lunch. They're not spending $100. People are literally spending probably like damn near $400 a month just on lunch, going to work. You know what I mean? Because you spending $20 every single day. You do the math with that. If you get paid bi-weekly, you know what I mean? Man, you literally spending a lot of money a month, fam. That literally is groceries for the month. Really, there's a lot of money that people spending, fam, because they don't even understand what's going on, fam. Like real talk, it's crazy, fam. Let me see. Prepare food in advance. Yep, prepare food in advance. Somebody said cold cuts with a question mark. Yeah, cold cuts. You have a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, depending on what you want to eat. I mean, what do you think this is? Like, everybody ain't eating filet mignon every damn day. You got to live within your means. You know what I mean? Depends on what you want. I just said chicken breast. I just said steak. I just said fix a pot of all this stuff and you bring it to work. You utilize bringing your food to work. You utilize bringing sandwiches to work. That way you have a balance of different things to snack on. Come on now. These are things you're supposed to know. You know what I mean? Let me see. If you come in with all that Trump nonsense, we just put you on the block list. We don't got time. Let me see. Yeah, about 500 to 600 a month. That's crazy. Yeah, that Uber Eats, spending that money on that is crazy. That's ridiculous, man. All of that. Listen, I tried that mess, when I was in New York because of the family and whatnot. You want to get something real quick, you Uber Eats. And when I saw the amount of money that I was spending, I said, nah, bro. Like how it's the weekend, you want to treat the family to something. And I'm looking at the bill. I'm like, fam, this is not right. That's too much damn money to be spending, fam. I remember there was this one time, I think we had ordered White Castles, right? And the White Castle bill came up to like $70, fam. I'm like, nah, bro. How does White Castles end up $70? That don't make no sense, bro. That don't make no sense. I said never again. I'm not doing that mess. That don't make no sense. Let's go back to the tapes.
And I'll say, man, let me tell you something. You ever seen Pac-Man? Well, really Miss Pac-Man, because that's what we used to play back in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Pac-Man came out, and then Miss Pac-Man came out, and then everybody went berserk off of that shit. Miss Pac-Man, I just be eating power pellets and shit. Well, just think of hyperinflation being Miss Pac-Man and your money. And Miss Pac-Man is gobbling up your money, your 401k plan, your social security, and all the rest of that shit.
There ain't no White Castles in North Carolina. That's the only thing that I miss. You know what I mean? Like with New York, it's mainly the pizza. You know what I mean? I miss the pizza because New York have the best pizza shops. You know what I mean? Pizza, White Castles, all the Caribbean restaurants. You know what I'm saying? All the restaurants on Utica and Church Avenue, Flatbush. All the Jamaican, Trinidadian restaurants, Guyanese spots. And that's pretty much that. Central Park, Prospect Park. Other than that, that's the only things in New York that I pretty much miss. But would I trade and go back to New York? No. I like it over here. It's way more peaceful. Let's go.
Y'all can play that rat race. I'm not doing it. I'm not getting in that Gerber's wheel. Straight up. You got people working 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs trying to keep up with hyperinflation. Hyperinflation is like right here running. It ain't stopping. And you like this. Slow down, hyperinflation. You running your ass off.
But the thing about this is with any job you get, even if we're not even talking about inflation, no matter how you see it, if your job gave you a raise, they're going to raise the prices on food and everything, fam. How many of y'all remember back in the day, right? Well, I don't know the ages of everybody in the building, but how many of y'all remember when a Snicker bar was a quarter? Do anybody remember that? When a Snicker bar was a quarter. I remember when a Snicker bar was a quarter, fam. Everything, the prices go up, fam. A gallon of milk, if I can recall back in the day, was $1. If I can recall, a gallon of milk, if I'm correct, I think it was $1.50. I think it was $1.50 for a gallon of milk. Or $1.25. I remember, man. Listen, every year the prices go up. Now a gallon of milk probably costs you $10, fam. Literally. And that's if you want organic milk, right? That's going to cost you like damn near $8. Like, no cap. It's crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. It was $1.50. Okay. Yeah, $1.50. There you go. Yeah, chips was 25 cents with a quart of water. Yeah, I remember a quart of water back in the day. When we was kids back in the day, man, we had a great time, fam. When it came to getting candy, fam, candy was super cheap. How many of y'all had in your store the penny store where you could get candy for a penny? You literally get gum, candies, lollipops, all sorts of stuff for a penny. No cap. Matter of fact, I don't know how many of you cats is in Brooklyn, but if you're in Brooklyn, right? If you're in Brooklyn, New York right now, right? And you were born in the 70s, 80s, and you lived, I'm gonna tell you the spot right now, because I used to live in this area back in the day growing up as a kid, 139 Rogers Avenue. I think it's between, what is it, Bedford and Sterling? I'm not sure if it's Bedford and Sterling, I'm not sure, but I know it's 139 Rogers Avenue in Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Special Ed, the rapper, he used to live up the street going towards Eastern Parkway. You know what I mean? Mike Tyson used to be around there too, right? Who else used to be over there? But let me get to my point. They had this candy store, right? All right, let's say 139 Rogers. If you're going all the way up where you go into that shelter before you reach Atlantic, before you get anywhere there was a store around there next to a divider street that intercrossed like this. And it was right there on the cut on the side. Back in the day, it was a penny store. You could go in there and get candy for a penny. Fam, we used to stock up on candy, fam, as kids, bro. The best time ever. Best time ever, man. I might Google map that one day and show y'all that spot, fam. It just bring back memories, man. Had a real good childhood back in the day, fam. Real good childhood. We had fun. Anybody that was born in the 70s, early 80s, you had a really good childhood. You had all the fun. It was the best time in your life. You really were a kid. And it was just really, really cool. You know what I mean? Some of y'all, you know, you were in the hood, came up in bad situations. But when we was kids back in the day, we didn't even know we were poor. We didn't even know. We didn't even know we were poor because all of us was living the same. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Let's go.
I need some water. You can't even stop. You gotta stop. You gotta stop. You gotta take a break to go to sleep.
And again, this is coming from the YouTube channel, Long Live Langston. So make sure you subscribe to his channel. You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw his link to his video in the description. So if you want to go there, show him some love. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Let me see what else we got. Let me see how much more. Okay, let's go.
Some of y'all are suffering from what is it? Insomnia? I'm mispronouncing. I probably am.
Insomnia. That's like when you can't sleep. You're up all night, stressed out.
What? Well, you can't even sleep because you're worried about bills. That's not what life is about.
Shout out to all the new subs, everybody that subscribed to the channel, rocking with the content. Appreciate your support, subscribing to the channel.
Not our life's purpose. No lie. Langston, how you know? Because I used to be one of those persons. Well, you know, I gotta move this more money over, gotta get this, gotta get that, gotta pay this light bill, gotta pay this water bill, this is getting dropped out of my account. I gotta make sure I balance this out because if this drops out of the account and then this over here gets drafted, it's gonna be a negative, which is gonna cause me for that money not to get drafted out of the account. Then that's a $35 charge because there's no money in the account.
Well, when it comes to your bills, fam, and I'm not saying just him, I'm just speaking in general for anybody that's listening that want to learn. Just put your bills on auto pay. But again, it comes in with how much money you bringing in. You know, if you're not bringing in enough money and your bills is demanding more funds, then you're going to have a problem. That's why I keep saying you got to live within your means. Sometimes you got to go 1 or 2 years of just not, you know, going out to eat, not buying fancy clothes. You got to struggle a little bit in order to get back on track, especially if you're trying to get out of debt. If your bread is not where it needs to be, you're not getting a salary that's sufficient, then you're gonna have to cut back on a few things until you're able to get back on track. Because if we could just cut out that credit card debt that you got, that'll be an extra $1,000 that you'll have to take care of your business expenses. You know what I mean? But I would suggest putting all your bills on auto pay. You know what I mean? All your credit cards, whatever you have, that way it's on autopilot. You don't got to think about it, because if it's on autopilot, everything's going to go smooth. All you got to focus on is making sure you got money coming in. You know what I mean? As long as your bank got that money, then everything should be good to go. You don't got to worry about this bill is due, that bill is due. Just leave it on autopilot and let it just do what it got to do, you know? And always pay more. So if it's a credit card, always pay more than what they're asking for. Never pay the minimum payment, or you'll be paying that debt off for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? Always pay more, you know? Always pay more. That's how your credit score is going to increase. Always pay at least 2 to 3 times. If you bought something within a month, pay 2 to 3 times. That way there's different payment times that you paid. That looks good on your credit, because it shows that you have a good history of paying your bills. What creditors look for is the fact that you are responsible. You're a responsible person. Remember, credit is all about your name. It's all about loyalty. It's all about who you are as a person. A person that has a good credit score, it says a lot about who you are as a man or a woman. It says that you balance your books, you maintain a good history, you're not living above your means, you know, you're a person that just handle your business. Your word is your bond. It says that your name is good. They could trust you, because it's like, man, look at all these bills and all these debts, and it's like you paid off everything. You're really good with your money. You know how to use your money, man. So your credit is going to always look good. And when you walk in a bank, you know, and you need a loan, they're not going to give you the runaround. They're going to look at your credit score. You want to go get a house? They're going to look at your credit score. Well, what your credit score is? What, 850? Ringo, do you want some champagne? Some champagne? Okay. Get him some champagne. Bill, bring the champagne. That's how they're going to be treating you. They're going to really treat you good, because once they see that, especially if you have an 800 credit score, everywhere you go, everybody treating you good. I promise you. It doesn't matter if you black or white. All that racism stuff go out the window. When you walk in the building and you're like, yeah, I need a loan for X, Y, and Z. They're like, okay, we're going to have to check your credit. We're going to have to do this. Hold on a second. I got to type. They see your credit score. They're like, you've been approved. No questions, no asking. They shaking your hand. Thanks for doing business with you, sir. Mr. Ringo. That's how it is, man. But now if you go in there to get a loan and your credit score is 400. Hold on 1 second, sir. I got to check your credit. 400. John, send back that champagne. Send back that champagne. Take the glasses with you. Sir, you're not approved. Why? What happened? Your credit score is only 400. Can't do it. Can't do it. What? Why not? I got a job. It doesn't matter if you got a good job. Your name is not good, fam. Doesn't matter if you make a certain amount of money. We can't give you the loan, sir. The way you using credit, please. You got all these outstanding balances. And see, that's why why would you go to a bank looking for a loan and you owe about $20,000 in debt? Like, that doesn't even make no sense, fam. You should have never did that. Come on now. What are you doing? Your credit line in total with all your credit is $25K, but you owe $20K in debt. Bro, stop it. Nobody ain't giving you no loan, bro.
And then, you know, for you all smart people, you say, hey, Langston, what you do is you have several streams of income. You know what I'm saying? You do this, and this. You got 5, 6 different streams of income. How much time are you taking out with your lady? Straight up.
You can have multiple streams of income, but I doubt that people have multiple streams of income. And when I say multiple streams, I'm talking about income that is coming in without them actually working. You know, there's a lot of passive income that you can literally generate. And, you know, there's different ways of doing that. But are you going to put in the work to actually do that? A lot of people don't know how to do that, primarily Black people. If you want to learn how to make other types of money, you're going to have to get some white friends, fam. Because white people do things a little different. Asian people do things a little different. They don't just focus on the 9 to 5. These are things that a lot of folks don't understand. There's many ways to earn money. The problem is us-ins, we just don't know those other ways because we're doing what we've been taught. Go graduate high school, go get a job. They don't even tell you go to college. They tell Black women go to college. They don't even tell Black men to go to college. They tell us go get a job. And then when you go get a job, you don't got no degrees, you don't got no skill sets, you don't got nothing. Then all you value is just that job. And when that job get tired of you and they fire you, now you're stuck because you don't got no formal education. All you got is this resume with this one job that you have. You don't have no real job history. Fam, you're going to be struggling for the rest of your life. You're going to be struggling, man. Because even if you got a degree, you still going to struggle in today's day. Because it goes back to what I said. You got to do what you love. What do you love to do? If you're a woman and you're viewing the live, if you're a man and you're viewing the live, you got to look at yourself and you got to say, okay, what do I like to do? What do I love that I could do every single day for free? And I love it. Okay, find what that is and monetize that. See how you can monetize the thing you love. Maybe you like to design shirts. You like to design clothing. Okay, go get yourself a sewing machine. Go get a pressing machine and start that business and start doing shirts, clothing, embroideries. Start sewing. Be a designer. What are you waiting for? And don't put your prices low if you're really good at it. Put those prices very high. Stop shortchanging yourself. A lot of times with us-ins, we love to give people cheap prices. We'll start a business and put our prices ultra low. That's not how you do your business, man. You put your prices up. If you know you're valuable, if you know you put in the work, fam, you deserve everything that you get. So put those prices up. Stop going out cheap. You know, you got to love what you do. If you hate what you do, then it's not gonna work business-wise. You got to love what you do. That's what's going to make you want to get up in the morning to go to work. You know, it's just like if you was a kid and you love going to school, then you're going to get up in the morning to go to school. You can't wait to go to school. So if you love what you do in terms of your occupation, it should bring you some sense of joy. You know, you're not going to be there for the rest of your life. You have to have a plan. You know, a lot of people is waiting on pensions. They're waiting on this. They're waiting on that. Fam, forget a pension, bro. I mean, if that's what you want to do, you want to work 60 years to get a pension, fam, that pension going to be done. And most people, they're going to end up dead because this is what happens when you are waiting around for all these things. I mean, think about this, fam. You're paying into a pension. The company and the banks that is getting that money, they're loaning that money to other people and gaining major interest. So all them years that you've waited to get that little bit of pension money, fam, those banks made back, man, triple of that, man. It's a game of monopoly. Why do you think they want you to get locked in to the pension? If you worked at a company for a certain amount of years and you've been paying into your pension, once you're locked in, you can't touch that money. You can borrow from it, you know, but you still got to pay that back in. But if you got to wait all those years just to get some checks from it, come on, man, that ain't even worth it, man. By the time you get that, man, you old. You like damn near 60-something years old. I mean, what are you going to do? Just sit in the house all day collecting a check? Fam, that's a miserable existence. You're young and youthful right now. You need that money now. You know what I mean? You need that bread now. If you're not locked into your pension, man, take that money out, fam. Take that money out and start a business, fam. Like real talk. Some of y'all not locked into y'all pension yet, and y'all got about a good 20, 30 bands sitting. Take that money out, fam, and go start a business. Quit that job. Real talk. You know what I mean? And you got to know what you're going to do. You have to know it's a sure thing before you quit. Before you jump ship, make sure you got some bread saved up so that you can take care of your bills for at least a year. Once you got that year, focus on that business. You got to take the risk, man. If you don't take the risk, you're never going to see the success. You got to be able to jump ship. And look, if this don't work, then hey, it is what it is. I only have one life. I'm going to jump ship. I'm going to try to do it, man. I don't care if I fail. I don't care if I lose. At least I know I tried. Don't be the person that live with regrets, fam. Don't be that person that live with regrets where you regret the fact that, man, when I was in my 30s, I didn't make no moves. Damn, when I was in my 40s, man, I ain't make no moves. Now you 50, 60 years old, you have all these regrets of all of the years and all the time you wasted. Don't be that person, man. Real talk. Let's go.
How much time are you taking out of the day to sit down with your family if you have one?
Well, a lot of people don't get time to spend with their family. That's why you got to do your own thing and value. Because to be honest, man, when I was on a 9-to-5, to be honest with you, fam, even though I was making good money at the 9-to-5, I didn't have no time to spend with my family, bro. Like, real talk. So what he said is true. You know what I mean? I cannot knock what he's saying. It's true. You know, only time I seen my family is when I came home, but I was tired. You know what I'm saying? I was tired. And like when I would come home, I would do YouTube on the side. So it's like I was doing the job, but I was doing YouTube on the side. But I always wanted to do YouTube full time. I always wanted to do my music, but never, yo, Most High is my witness, fam. No cap, no lie. Fam, when I was at the 9-to-5, man, I had no time to do my music, bro. I had no time to do my music, fam. No lie. No time. I had zero time. I used to buy equipment for the studio, never used the equipment. I would buy the latest state-of-the-art equipment, right, for the music. But because I was locked in the 9-to-5 and doing YouTube part-time, I had zero time to do music. My gift was just disappearing. You know how much studio gear I got that I never used? The gear is literally outdated. I can't even use it no more. I got microphones that I never used. I bought them off the strength of just at that time, figuring, oh, I'm gonna use it, this, that. I can't even use it. Those microphones is outdated. They got new stuff now. So yeah, if you're at a 9-to-5, it can be taxing on you to the point where you don't even have time to spend with your family. The only time I see my family is during the weekend. But again, during the weekend, you're trying to unwind, to rest. So it's like you hardly really see them. And then you're back at work again. So it's like, man. So, hey, it's real, man. It's real. That's why I can relate to the people. I can relate to these things because I done been there. I know what I'm talking about. I know the struggle. I know what it is. But see, the difference with me is I actually love the job that I had. See, when you take civil service exams and you pass these exams and you had to study for these exams, you're going to appreciate the job you have because you earned it. The job and the career that I had when I was in New York, you didn't just go get the job. You just couldn't go fill out an application and get it. You had to take exams, serious exams. You had to go through a lengthy training course to even be qualified. You had to have all sorts of certificates and certification just to have the job, bro. You have to have all sorts of P99s, A35s. You have to have training for this. Man, you got to take this exam. Man, you know how many damn exams I had to take, bro? Just to have that job, bro. So when I was already done established, you're locked in. Like with that particular job, you just can't get fired. You know what I mean? The whole pandemic thing was a scam to get rid of workers. You know what I mean? A couple of the guys they got rid of, you know, I think one of them, he got his job back. Because they was like, yeah, you could come back. All the workers was begging me, man. It was like, yo, come back, fam. It'll be like it used to. I was like, nah, never coming back, bro. Most High got me up out of there, fam. It is what it is, you know? So you got to just stay the course, man. I understand a lot of y'all probably don't got time to spend with your family right now. But, you know, especially if you're a single mom, man. If you're a single mom and you got to work the 9-to-5 and you got kids, man, damn. That's a struggle right there, man. That's a struggle because a single mom, she work at the 9 to 5, deal with the BS. Then she got to go pick up her kids. She got to help them with homework. She got to cook, clean, bathe them, clean. Man, come on, man. That's a lot of stress right there, bro. That's a lot of stress. See, a lot of times us guys, we complain about, oh yeah, my 9 to 5, but are you taking care of kids at the same time? Like these women? That's a whole nother stress right there, bro. See, when you go to your 9 to 5 as a man, you complain, but at least when you come home, you don't got to address children. So when a lady got to deal with her 9 to 5, then she come home and dealing with children at the same time. Man, that's wild, bro. That's when, and yet, you know, man, I can't even explain because I'm not walking in their shoes. I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking about how I would be. Let's say, for example, if I was a single father and I'm just raising my daughters by myself. I don't have no woman. I'm just raising my daughters and I'm doing what I got to do as a man to provide. But at the same time, I got to make sure I'm maintaining them at the same time. Fam, that's a lot of work, bro. So you got to salute these women out here that are holding it down, bro. You got to salute them, man. I know they get a bad rap. You know, it is what it is most of the time. But to be a woman who's taking care of your kids and you working a 9 to 5 and maintaining the house and everything, man, that's a lot of work, man. A lot of work. She don't get a break, bro. So I know these women be stressed out, fam. I know they be stressed out. So every now and then as a woman, you got to pamper yourself. You got to, you know, go to a park, sit down. You got to do something, man, to feel good, because if not, you're going to go crazy with that stress.
When the last time you had a home cooked meal? Tell me. Tell me when the last time you had some good fun. I'm talking about some fun. You laugh, you ain't worried about time and none of that shit besides the regular Christmas, Thanksgiving, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day weekend, the typical shit, holidays, when they give you time off.
I used to always hate, man, when I was at a 9 to 5 and it's like I'm going on a vacation, right? Because, you know, you got to have your days. I listen, even after the job got rid of me, I probably had, man, on the books, I probably had about a good more than that. Had about 3 months worth of time. 3 months worth of time on the books. 3 months worth of time. They had cut me a check for that, you know. I didn't even know they do that, but they had cut me a check for that time, you know. But I had a lot of time on the books because I never went on really any vacations, but it was crazy how you have to ask the supervisor, and it's like, even though you would take like 2-week vacation, fam, it's like when you came back to work, it was like, it's like the job, it's as if though nobody worked and they left the work for you. It's a real weird thing to experience. You know, you come back after 2 weeks, you figure, well, I'm good. And you come back and it's more work, you know? But I love the job. I ain't really complain. Had a few ups and downs, a few hiccups here and there. But I never really complain. It's just the pandemic thing is what made me transition, you know? It is what it is. Let me see. Somebody said I had a job considered essential during the pandemic. Yeah, I was also an essential worker during the pandemic too. I was actually thankful because everybody was sent home. The agency that I worked for, everybody that worked was an essential worker. For that amount of time, when I was going to work, fam, there was no cars outside. There was no traffic. Fam, it was like the Twilight Zone. Literally, there was nobody going to work, fam. I was thankful. I was thankful, bro. I used to always thank the Most High, fam. I was like, man, yo, everybody's getting sent home. They said only essential workers will be able to come to work. And then they gave us the notice. They was like, yeah, you guys are essential, definitely. Because we're dealing with heat and hot water. So we got to maintain residents in these apartment complexes. So I was thankful, fam. I ain't gonna hold you. I was thankful all the time. I used to tell my partner, I'm like, bro, yo, we got to be thankful, man. A lot of people out there struggling, man. Struggling. People was losing jobs left and right. Women were getting in relationships with men they didn't even like in order to have something. There was a lot of pandemic babies, man. A lot of pandemics babies happened that women didn't even want.
I mean, do any of y'all know what it feels like to wake up Monday at 9 o'clock in the morning, 10 o'clock in the morning, and ain't got to worry about no job? I do that every day. I do that Monday through Sunday.
Now, at this point right here, right, I would recommend to the brother, right, I understand what you're saying, but be careful. Be careful, fam. Now, I'm going to explain why. It's like how he's telling people going to get mad. They're going to get mad with him and they're going to start to hate because they're going to be like, what are you doing where you could just get up when you want and do what you want? And now they're going to start to hate you. You know what I mean? So even though you're able to do your thing, there's a way to say it. Just say, I got freedom. You know what I mean? Just say, I got freedom to, you know, enjoy my children a little more, spend time with the family. Put it in that context. That way a viewer will more or less receive what you're saying. But if you say it in a way like, you know, hey, you gotta go to the clock. I get up when I want. You know what I'm saying? I could get up at 1 a.m. while you gotta go. It's gonna make people feel some type of way because they still going through the struggle and they're not gonna be too happy for you. You know, just say because of your decisions and the choices you made, it afforded you the opportunities to have the freedom to actually live a little bit and have the time to take care of the things that is needed in your life, like spending more time with your children, spending more time with your woman, and focusing on your health. Keep it in that context. That way you said what needed to be said without just saying, well, I could get up whenever I want. You know what I mean? Because it make it seem like you don't need to work. Like money is coming in, but you ain't working. It gives off like a cocky attitude. You know what I mean? That's all my criticism is for that. Let's get back to the tapes.
Straight up. Some of you all commute. Gotta wake up at 6 in the morning to get ready to work.
Fam, when I was on the 9, let me let him finish his sentence.
For work. To be at that job at 9 o'clock.
Now, what he's saying is real because some of y'all be having to drive like 2-3 hours to get to work.
Yo, commute 2 hours away from your job.
That's crazy. That's crazy right there, fam. I knew people when I was on the 9 to 5 that they literally lived in Philadelphia and they literally had to take damn near, they would have to drive, then they would have to take some bus or whatever the case is, train, and man, it'd be like a 2-hour commute to go to work. 2-hour commute to go to work, 2-hour commute to go home. That's 4 hours out of your life, fam. And you're not even getting paid for it. That's crazy. That's crazy, fam. And me personally, if you want to know my situation, I was on a 9 to 5. I had to get up at 3:30 a.m. in the morning. That's right. 3:30 a.m. in the morning. That's when I would get up because I had to be at work at 5 a.m. You know what I mean? So I would get up an hour and a half early, right? Because the 30 minutes is for me to unwind. In other words, you get up at 3, but you punch that alarm clock. You know how when you punch the snooze and you kind of take a little more Z's and then you click snooze again. And then by the time you get up, it's like 3:45, 3:50. You see what I'm saying? That's how I used to do it. And then boom, I'm up at 4. you know, shower, boom, 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 you know, get something to eat. My wife would always have my breakfast and stuff. She would literally get up around the same time, fix me breakfast, boom, boom, boom. Everything is good because she's a trooper like that, you know what I mean? And by the time it's like hitting like close to like 4:25 around there, 4:30, I'm heading out the door. It would take me about a good 15, 17 minutes to get to work, you know what I mean? Because it was right over in the city in Manhattan. You know, I would have to cross the Manhattan Bridge. I'd be there in no time. But I had to literally be there at 5. There's no grace period at 5 a.m. So you had to be there at 5 or before 5 and punch that clock. So while I'm out there, everybody sleep. It's still nighttime. You know what I mean? And I like the hours. I just didn't like the fact that I had to get up so early, but I got accustomed to it. But I tell you, man, it felt like I didn't have no time, man. It felt that I didn't have no time. They had put me on that schedule. I originally worked from 8 to 4:30, but they put me on that early morning schedule because they figure I'm really good at what I do. This is what happens when you're good at what you do. They end up putting you in the early morning shift to maintain all the systems and whatnot. And man, I had to deal with some things, man. I remember there was probably like 2 or 3 times, man. I came to work, you know, got dressed up, you know, ate my breakfast, went over to one of the boiler plants. The whole plant was underwater, fam. The whole plant was underwater. About a good, let me see, 2 feet of water, fam. 2 feet of water. Water is literally by your belly, fam. You got to walk in the water. All the electrical, everything is there. You got to figure out how to deal with this. You're literally in a pool. Very dangerous work, man. So the way I would do it is under those circumstances, we had a disconnect switch at the front of the boiler the front of the boiler before you get into the plant. If it's underwater, you know, you call your supervisor, you let them know what's going on, but it's so early in the morning, the supervisor's not even hearing you, fam. Like it's really early. So I would click the breaker switch. You shut that down, it shuts off all the power. You know what I'm saying? It shut down all the main power. So once all that power is down, you know, not even your water boots can save you because the water is literally way up there, fam. You literally in water swimming. I would literally go because it's the sump pump. The sump pumps was down. So I would have to literally go to the sump pumps, check what's going on, reset it. Once I reset it, close the box, head back upstairs, dry off, hit the power, boom. Once you hit that power, that machine come back on, brrr, it start bringing all that water out, fam. And it'll take a while before it empties out the plant and clear all that water. But man, those were nightmares, man. To come and you see the boiler plant underwater, man, that was stressful because I'm there by myself. Very, very dangerous. Anything can go wrong. I could get electrocuted in the water. But because of the training, I understood how to do certain things under certain circumstances. Now, some people might say you broke the rules. Or listen, there's sometimes, fam, you got to just know the job and know what to do to get the job done by yourself. If you're in these type of positions, it's really, you just got to make sense of the situation. And I was able to get things done and whatnot. The only things I never did when I was on the job is go into a crawl space by myself. That's the most dangerous thing you can do. Or going into a boiler, a combustion chamber by yourself. Somebody should be on the outside to either watch you or you need to have that door open. The way I used to do it is I bought my own chain with a master lock. And what I did is the door of the combustion chamber to the boiler, I would chain it open because it might be a situation where you're in there working, a worker go by, see the door open, not realizing you in there working, they end up closing the door. You inside it, he turn on the boiler with you inside. Something like that happened once, fam. Literally real talk, fam. That's why in front of every boiler, they have a disconnect switch that you press it one time, shut everything down. You know what I mean? It was one time you had a newbie, he there, somebody was in the boiler working, he closed the damn door, you can't hear nothing. Damn dude locking the damn door, fam. I'm like, yo, where's so-and-so? He down here. He's like, nobody down here. I just locked the boiler. I'm like, bro, he down here working, man. We go down there, dude inside the damn thing, bro. He in the boiler, fam. Big fight happened, bro. Big fight. No damn joke, bro. You locked me in a boiler, fam. Once I come out there, I'm punching you in the face, bro. Real talk. He had to square up with the dude. We ain't call the supervisor. Ain't nobody know nothing. You gonna get hands laid on you for that, fam. Because in the job, we have something called a log out, tag out. Those of you in the electrical field, electricians, it's lockout, tag out. I believe that's what it's called. You put this little thing on the switch. That way, nobody turn it back on. It's mainly for power switches and whatnot. But my thing is, if I'm in a combustion chamber, I'm chaining that thing together. That way, nobody ain't closing it with me in there. You know what I mean? Very, very dangerous job, man. But it is what it is, man. See me there reminiscing on the job. It is what it is. Let's get back to the tapes.
Stuck in traffic for 2 hours of your life. Then you get to work, you work 9 to 5, and then you get off at 5 o'clock, and it takes you 2 hours to get back home. By the time you get home, the only thing you could do if you have a family and they have, you know what I'm saying, they went to school and all the rest of that stuff, the only thing you could do is like scan through their homework, make sure that their homework is done, you know what I'm saying, feed them, you know what I'm saying, tell them I love them, love you, put them to bed, you go to bed, and you got to do the same thing all over again. To be real with you, you ain't nothing but a weekend mom and pop or parents overall.
I mean, he's telling the truth right there, 100%. I ain't gonna lie. That's the truth, 100%. Because, like I said, I lived 15 minutes away from home when I was in New York from the job. But some of my coworkers, it took them 2 hours to come to work, 2 hours to go home. That's 4 hours out of your life, man. So not only did you do your 8 hours or 12 hours at work, but then you got an extra 4 hours of travel. Come on, man. That's too much, man. So it's like by the time you get home, you don't even got no time to see your family. And then it's back at the job again. That's stress, bro. That's stress, man. Absolute stress, bro. I'm like, damn. You traveled 2 hours to come here? They're like 2 hours, man. It took me 2 hours to get to work. Damn. I'm sorry, but I can't do that, bro. If I knew I had to travel 2 hours to get to work, the only amount of time, when I used to work in Brownsville in Brooklyn, and the browsing complex, it took me about 30 minutes to get to work. You know, I got to go all the way up to Eastern Parkway and get down there to Pitkin Avenue to get over there to Brownsville. That took me about 30 minutes, and I didn't even like that. So that was like an hour's worth of traveling in the day. You know what I mean? I didn't like that. So when they put me in Manhattan to work, and I realized it was lower Manhattan, I was happy about that. I was like, wow, just 15, 20 minutes to get to work. It was really about 15 minutes. I'm right across the Manhattan Bridge. I'm at work in no time. You know what I mean? Let's get back to the tapes.
Because that's the only time that you have with your children. Mm-hmm. And some of y'all don't even have that. Because you got to work another job on the weekends.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You telling me working 9 to 5? Or working for the man is your life's purpose?
See, I understand his frustration, but the thing is, somebody got to still work. Somebody got to work at the 9 to 5, no matter how you see it. All of you got to have a 9 to 5. But the point is, are you happy with where you are? Are you satisfied with where you are? Do you feel you deserve more? If you feel you deserve more, then you got to put in the work necessary to make that transition. You got to put in that work. If you know you're not ready to make that transition to the next level, don't complain about the job. Just kind of deal with it for now. Try to figure out how you can limit the stress. Because like I said, I understand this stuff, man. I've been there. I had to counsel my coworkers at times. You know, you have coworkers dealing with baby mama drama. I had coworkers that wanted to delete their wives, their baby mama, a lot of stuff, man. I'm telling you, man. A lot of these guys be stressed out on the job, man. You know what I mean? I remember when I was a caretaker, pretty much a caretaker in New York City Housing Authority. Pretty much they dealt with like the trash. They would clean the buildings, clean the elevators, do compactors, all of that type of stuff. I remember I had one particular brother, man. He used to complain about his baby mama, man. He said, yo, I'm gonna take her out, fam. I'm gonna take her out. We had to literally, like all the brothers, we had to literally counsel the brother, man. Be like, yo, bro, don't do it, man. It ain't worth it, bro. Don't do it, man. He's like, look, man, she taking all my money, fam. I remember one time the brother showed us his paycheck, fam. I'm not gonna shout his name out because then he'll know who he is, but I'm pretty sure he know who he is, fam. Cool brother, by the way. You know what I'm saying? He favors two actors and comedian. I believe one, he favors Samuel L. Jackson and what's the other brother? The comedian that died, man. His name slipped my mind. The dark-skinned brother, man. Funny as heck, man. Everybody know his name. It's not catching on my mind. He looked like Samuel L. Jackson and the other brother that passed away, man. The comedian. Bernie Mac, there you go. Shout out to the late Bernie Mac, R.I.P. He looked like him, this particular worker that I'm talking about. The man showed us his paycheck, fam. It's $100, man. That's his paycheck. $100, man. Child support, bro. It's crazy. Imagine working for 2 weeks and all you got is $100. That's crazy. This is why I'm telling you, as a man, y'all be complaining about being on child support, but y'all want to have all these babies with all these women. You know, I'm not blaming him, but at the same time, he made bad choices in his younger days, you know, chasing skirts. That's why I keep telling you about chasing skirts. It's either you focus on your bread or you're going to lose all your bread to chasing skirts, paying child support. A lot of the cats at the job was paying child support. Everybody had a horror story to the point where they thought I was paying child support. I never paid no child support. Never did. You know, I'm with my wife. And I'm not dumb enough to have some kid with some woman and I don't know who she is. You know what I mean? That's why a person like me is very selective when it comes to women. But these guys out here, they'll be dropping seeds in different women randomly, and then they end up on child support. You got women that'll line you up just to put you on child support. She know you getting in some bread. Oh, she'll have your baby, but she gonna leave and she gonna collect that child support. So you better make sure if you having a baby with a woman, you better make sure that she true blue. Or else you won't be spending all that money, bro. Makes no sense. 18 years of struggling, bro.
That this is what we supposed to do with our fucking lives? Then when you get older and can't work anymore, any longer, you get a pension or your Social Security.
A pension is a scam. I always said that, fam. Like, the pension idea is a scam. I don't really believe in that mess. You know what I'm saying? I took my bread right out once the job shut down. I wasn't locked into the pension. I already invested a lot in it. I took my money, bro. I took my money and bounced, like real talk. They're talking about, because once you get, I think you got to have 10 years paying into the pension and then you're locked in. You can't touch your bread. I was at 9 months and a few days because when I first got into the agency, I joined the pension late. Like I was at the job for like 2 years and was never paying into the pension until one day the supervisor was like, yo, you haven't even paid into your pension. Like you ain't even set up the paperwork. What are you doing? I was like, all right, you know what I mean? And then pretty much I ended up rising in the company. I had 3 different job titles and moved up into the company. You know what I'm saying? From caretaker to HPT to heating maintenance worker. And when you have the title of heating maintenance worker, you make way more money. You got way more privilege. And, You know, it's like you're doing similar work to an HPT, but you're more or less a maintenance worker doing a lot of repairs and maintenance work. You know, some electrical, plumbing. It's like pretty much everything all in one. Dealing with the boiler plant, equipments, tank rooms, motors. You're working on motors. You're working on all different types of different things. You know what I mean? And all of that requires training. So you got to really know what you're doing, fam. Always use your safety training. Always make sure you have your multimedia with you. I remember there was this one time I was working on a boiler and I turned off the breaker box for the electrical, and I went up to the top of the boiler and I was working on a low water cutoff, and I had to exchange it and put on a brand new one. And something said, check to see if there's any power coming in. And I was like, I don't need to. I turned off the breaker. But if you know anything about boiler plants, people be bypassing stuff. People be circumventing safety, circumventing equipment, and rewiring stuff to the point where it's getting power from another source. So I went, got my multimedia thing, tested it, and lo and behold, fam, 240 is coming in, bro. If I would have touched that stuff, man, I would have been dead, bro. Always safety first, man. Safety first. You got to always remember your training. Even if you turn off the breaker box, you always take your 2 prongs and you check to see if voltage is coming in. Always do that. Always do it, man. If I would have put that screwdriver on that thing, boom, would have been a wrap. Would have been a wrap, bro. I would have been toast. I've seen people get electrocuted in the boiler plant. I see people get shocked and it shot them across the room, bro. Had to call the medical people, ambulance, everything. I've seen people literally on the ladder touch something and it go, boom! And they literally fly in the air and get thrown to the other side of the room. No joke, man. Very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. I remember this one time, you had a brother, he had to work on something, what the hell is that thing called, man? I think it's the master, what is it called? You know, like how when you haven't been at the job in a minute, you start forgetting certain things? The master, it's not pressure trawl. Something to master something. It's something at the top of the damn boiler on the steam header, and it shuts down the whole plant. I forgot the damn name. Whatever it's called. He was working on that. He had the ladder, the high ladder, he had to climb up. Now in the training, it tells you when you go on this ladder, somebody got to be down there at the bottom spotting you. You just don't climb a ladder. Somebody got to be down there holding the ladder. So somebody was originally holding the ladder, and then he moved to go take a phone call. So while the person is up there at the top, the ladder started to move a little bit, fam. It started to move, and then it just went forward, and he went crashing down, fell from all the way up there, boom. Boom! Man, he was out. He was out, fam. Literally. He was out for months. He had to go out on workers' comp. He fell from damn near 15, probably about a good 15, 20 feet, man. I would say about a good 18 feet high. No cap. Falling 18 feet high from a ladder, scary, man. If you fall 5 feet from off a ladder, that can put you out for months. Falling off a ladder, period, can mess you up. I remember there was one time I was working on a steam trap, right? And I'm in the tank room area in the basements working on it. I had a pipe wrench, and I think this is around the earlier days when I first became an HPT. When I first became an HPT, and I'm still learning the ropes and still going through some training, but I I was using the pipe wrench in the wrong direction. So while I'm trying to open it, I end up swinging it towards me. Knocked myself out, fam. I was out on the floor, cold. Fell off a ladder, hit the floor, I was asleep. One of the ladies walked in, the caretaker ladies, she saw me knocked out on the floor. She thought I was like being funny. And, you know, I had a busted lip, you know, like a little slight, not really a knot on my head, but you can tell I hit myself with this damn wrench. Like, it's just a lot. It's dangerous work, man. You just got to really know what you're doing, man. It's crazy stuff, man. You know, that was my beginning days when I first started, you know, but, you know, it is what it is. Let's get back to the tapes.
And that shit's gotten gobbled up. Because if they're not sending money over to Ukraine or Israel, where you think they're getting that money from? You think it's just surprise, surprise? It's just popping out of the sky and they grabbing it? They damn for sure ain't printing up the money to send it. That's not how they do things. Now they take it out of different things, like our tax money.
And your pension. Your pension money is being used to make these banks and these companies millions of dollars, man. It is what it is, fam. But nonetheless, I'm not going to watch any more because I'm at the half. His video is damn near like 30-something minutes. You know, if you want to watch the rest of his video, again, it's titled, I'm Tired of Working a 9-to-5. YouTube channel, Long Live Langston. I'm going to put the channel link under the video. That way he can get the credit he deserves. You can show some love to his channel and whatnot. I just wanted to react to the video to kind of share my thoughts about the situation. So when it comes to a 9-to-5, like I said, if you're stressed out on your job, you feel it's time to go, you just got to have a game plan. You got to be ready to make moves. It ain't going to be this simple thing. You got to have strategy, man. Because when you think about leaving a 9-to-5, you got to have a plan that is ready to go. Or how are you going to make money? Are you starting your own business? What are you going to do to eat? Before you quit, do you have money saved? At least 6 months worth? You know what I mean? That could get you through till you get back on track. Or at least 1 year's worth of money saved. Do you have at least 25K in your bank right now saved? Do you have that? Because before you quit, you want to make sure you have at least 10 bands in your account, man, something. So that if you leave, you can relax for a minute and get your mind right, because it's not going to be this simple thing, man. Matter of fact, it could be a simple thing. It all depends on how much work you're willing to put in. So I'm not going to say it's not going to be simple, like it's going to be difficult. You're the one that determined the difficulty when it comes to your situation. Only you know what you really need. Only you know your circumstance. Don't be afraid to start the business. Don't be afraid to step out and make moves. Don't be afraid to fail. You got to be able to fail in order to win. When you fail, you learn how to improve. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't worry about not having this, not having that. You got to know how to learn to fail in order to learn how to live and do what you need to do. You know? That's how it works. Because we don't know everything. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. But the best thing you can do is just try. Try. Don't procrastinate. If you're tired of the job, if it's stressing you out, if your job is causing you stress to the point where it got you drinking, it got you depressed, you're full of anxiety, then it's time for you to leave, man. Because your mental health is being challenged. It's not no game, man. That's going to affect your household, your family. If you're a man and you coming home, flipping on your old lady and acting up, cursing your children out, chances is your job is stressing you out. If you're a woman, you come home, you mad at your husband, mad at the kids, mistreating them, your job is really doing something to you, man. It's messing you up. It's causing you to take it out on your family. And we all know you shouldn't bring your job home, right? So, hey, salute to everybody at the 9 to 5 grind. Everybody making moves. Know your limits. Know when it's time to go. You know, write things down. Get your plan of action. If you don't want to be at the 9 to 5, you got to plan this thing out. You got to really plan it out. How you going to earn money? You got to write it down. Write it down. Make it plain. When am I planning to leave? Write it down. Start putting the plan into motion. Start saving money. Clear your debts. Do all these little things to prepare for the departure from the job. You know, so that way it's a smooth departure. And don't tell nobody at your job that you're leaving, because a lot of times you tell people, it gets back to supervision. It gets back to this person. Before you know it, they realize you're about to leave. They start treating you different. Now they give you more work. They start treating you different because you basically saying you leave them, you know? So that's about it. We're going to have more content and more talks later on in the day. I shouldn't even be up right now, but I wanted to do these particular content here. I'm going to go fix me something to eat. It is what it is. Man, oh man, oh man. Remember I told you I got the, whatchamacallit, let me take this thing off real quick. Hold on a second. Let me take this thing off. I hope I don't mess this up. All right. Take this thing off. Remember I told you I got the thing for the video game set up. I actually was working on this thing over here. Let me show this to you. Okay, let me see if I could do this. Right? So I got that. The play seat from Logitech, as you can see right there. That's it for the gaming setup. You know what I mean? This is going to be in the studio. You know what I'm saying? But I put it together, like the gears for the car stuff is there. The steering wheel goes on top of there. And then you have the bucket seat right there. It's really, really nice. When you sit down on there, it's just like you're in a real car. You know what I mean? But the steering wheel and stuff comes in on Tuesday. It comes in on Tuesday. And it's going to be dope. I have a TV that I ordered, a 65-inch, like that one. That's going to be for the gaming. But it's a more expensive TV that is for it's for gaming. So when that come in, I'm going to install that in the studio upstairs. And we're going to be doing gaming. We're going to be doing regular content. We're going to be doing music. I'm going to get into skits. I'm going to be doing that. There's a lot of different creative things I'm getting into, fam. A lot of things. I'm going to implement the family into everything, too. There's a lot of plans, a lot of different things that we're working on. And again, to the folks out there, like I said, man, if you're really unhappy at your job, it's time to go, right? But you have to have a plan. You have to have a plan of what exactly you're gonna do. You don't bounce yet. You know, you got to have a plan, you know, of what you're gonna do and so forth, because you don't want to bounce and, you know, you don't have a plan of action of what's going down. My lumber stuff comes tomorrow, so I'm gonna be able to start working on those bass traps, fam. So I'm gonna try to utilize some of this equipment, because I have my whole entire dining table here with studio equipment, fam. Like, you know, as here you see the cameras there, you know what I mean? Stuff right there. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, I got stuff all over the table, you know, my monitors and whatnot and stuff. This is only temporary, so I can get some content till I get everything in the studio and whatnot, you know? So it is what it is. But that's nothing compared to all the equipment that we have to do our content. So for right now, I'm just doing content on my phone, but I'm gonna utilize all the cameras and stuff right there. But those cameras that's there, that's gonna be for down here, because all of this all of this is a studio. Like, even though this is the house, this is like the living room, dining area, whatever you want to call this, right? This whole section here, from here, going all the way here, is all a studio, right? Even though that's the house, but this setup, I designed this specifically for content. Everything has been specifically designed and put together by me for content purposes. So I'm gonna have the cameras actually set up in position so that you can capture whoever's sitting on, each chair, and you get some nice content. The place look, very tidy and peaceful and cozy. And for me, it's gonna look really dope on social media. So the way I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna have probably a 4-camera setup where I have a camera on the ceiling, on the wall, not a ceiling, but on the wall over there, on the wall over here. Then you have probably 5 cameras, one in the center that captures like a wide angle shot. And then you have 2 cameras capturing up close and personal shot where you see the person's face real close. So that's gonna be for downstairs, you know what I mean? So this area here is gonna be pretty much off limit to the kids and whatnot. In other words, anybody get caught over there, they're gonna be in trouble. You know what I mean? Because that's all business purposes, right? It is what it is. You know what I mean? I don't mind them going and, sit down on the chair right there. But when it comes to over there, y'all better stay out of there, fam, or daddy gonna get you. It is what it is. Yeah, I'll just pack them up. It is what it is. So we're gonna get up on out of here. Appreciate everybody rocking with the platform. It is what it is. It's pretty much late. Yo, if I was to walk outside right now, fam, you won't hear not one sound, bro. Like literally, if I walk outside and I take a pin and drop it, you'll hear the pin. No cap. It's ultra quiet, bro. Ultra quiet, man. I wonder if it's late, like right now, and I go walking around the community with the camera, people will probably come outside with their guns and be looking out their window like, who that? What the heck is going on? Who that guy? There's a prowler. They'll think I'm crazy, bro. I was thinking about doing that the other day. You said the same in your neighborhood? Yeah, man, it'd be ultra quiet. When I first got out here and I listened to how quiet it was, I was like, dag, yo, you don't hear not a sound. And it's outside, I saw some gecko, lizard, or whatever the case is climbing the house the other day. I might post that video. It was funny, man. I saw the damn thing climbing up the side. I said, you know what? I'm gonna leave him alone. I'm like, he live here. Let me leave him alone. Cause I'm like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do you do? That's the wildlife, right? Like, I don't know. What do you do? If you see like a gecko, lizard, whatever you call it, like, what do? You just let them go, right? Is that what you do? Or am I supposed to do something about it? I don't know. Because like in New York, I never seen that. So I figure just let them go. Right? Yeah, I just let him go. I didn't do nothing. Because I don't see him as a threat. I don't like spiders. If I see a spider, the spider got to go. I don't like no spiders, fam. No way. No spiders. I don't want to see none of that mess. All right? Yeah, I let him go. He lived somewhere in the house at the top somewhere. I don't know where in the world he go. I just let him go. Remember the time when I had posted a video and he rung the doorbell? Search the channel, fam. The same gecko, lizard, whatever the case is, he rang the ring bell. Literally. It's on camera. It's on the channel. Look for the video. You'll see it. The damn thing, it rang the bell. Literally, no lie. It rang the bell, man. So, yeah, so we're going to get ready. We're going to do what we got to do. I'm going to get me something to eat. I'm really liking this Logitech chair thing, man. This is nice, man. I'm really serious. Let me see. This thing is really, really nice, man. Very, very nice. And it's expensive too, man. It is expensive. You know what I mean? You want to know the price, you go look it up and you'll see. It's not cheap. You know what I mean? That's how it is with the steering wheel or whatever the case is. It depends on which one you buy. But it's super cool for playing PS5, or if you got a gaming PC, you'll have a lot of fun. I'm gonna get into PC gaming. I have to go to a store. There's a store out in Charlotte somewhere where they build computers for you. You pay a fee and they'll hook up a dope computer for you. So I'm gonna have the PS5 on probably one side of the room, and then I'm gonna have the PlayStation on the other side of the room. And then in the middle, it's gonna be the whole podcast setup with all the studio equipment to do music and content all at the same time. So I'm gonna be using down here, and I'm gonna be using upstairs to do content. So it takes time. We should be done with the studio probably like early September. We should be on our way to complete and everything. The studio going to be completed in the month of September. It's going to be 100% within that month. Somewhere in there, the beginning somewhere, we should be done. Because once I get this gear, this construction material tomorrow, I'm getting to some serious work. I'm going to be doing a lot of work. That's why I'm trying to really put out some content. You know what I mean? I'm still going to do some content tomorrow, later on today anyway, but I'm trying to put out more content because once I get started with the work, I don't want to stop and happen to do anything else. I want to literally utilize the entire day because I got to also cut the lawn. You know what I mean? Because it's like that lawn be growing real fast. I think I'm going to get another lawnmower. I really think I'm going to have to get another one because the push lawnmower is cool, but I need to hurry up and do it quick. And it's like with the push lawnmower, it takes a little while longer. But if I had the one that you drive, I could finish it like really quick, you know. But I don't want all that attention with the larger ones. I really don't want that attention. I really don't even want to buy it because it's like it makes it feel like I'm trying to show out. You know what I mean? Because it costs like damn near $1,900 or $2,099. I'm not sure exactly what it is. I just don't think it warrants spending all this money for a lawnmower. I could probably just buy another push lawnmower, but something a little more powerful that could get the job done. Because I really don't want no big contraction in the garage, to be honest with you. I really don't want to see that. You know, some of these guys be overkill with their lawnmowers. They don't even have no lawn, and they have this big old lawnmower. It don't even make no sense. Like, seriously, it makes no sense. But anyway, we're going to get up on out of here, do what we got to do. Peace and blessings to everybody in the building. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay at peace on the 9-to-5 grind. Don't let that place stress you out. Don't let your coworkers and supervisors stress you out. Learn how to find something to do to give you peace of mind when you leave the job, because it can really affect you mentally if you're being stressed. You know, if you got crazy coworkers that stress you out, people that don't work, now you got to do the work for them. I know what all of that stuff is like, you know. Just be at peace. Find something that you could do to keep your mind clean and clear, because you don't want to go home with the stress and now you're taking out that stress on other people that they don't deserve that, you know. Especially if you're a man, you come home angry and now you taking it out on your woman. That's not right, man. Taking it out on your kids. Nah, can't do that, man. Take a walk, bro. Take a walk, you know. Sometimes you if you stress, you got to tell your supervisor, look, I need to take some time off, man. If you got some bread saved, take a month off of work and see how it is. Take a month off of work. Take a leave. You could do that. Put in your paperwork. If you got some bread saved, it is what it is, you know. Use your time. You got time on the books. And do what you got to do to clear your mind. Maybe you need a month off of work just to get your mind right, you know? So we're going to get up on out of here. Appreciate everybody listening to the talks and whatnot. We're going to take care of business, and I'll catch you on the next video. So salute to everybody out there. Y'all stay safe. I'm gonna sign out. Let me see what's going on. Final comments. Okay. All right. Let me see. Who's the person that don't like me? Ringo ain't on nothing. Stop harassing. What in the world is this person talking about, man? Let's get you on out of here, man. All that negativity, fam. I don't even understand that mess. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this isn't even crazy. I don't know. People bugging out, man. You see what I have to deal with, fam, with the negative energy, bro? Like, I don't get it, fam. And see, that's why I tell you, man, you got to really stay away from people that are just negative, because some people, man, they just hate people that are doing things that are positive. They really hate seeing you doing something with your life. That's why I just like to be by myself, man. And I don't like nobody around me, man. Because people bring their evil spirits. They bring their demons with them. And they'll just come around you to provoke you. I mean, think about it, fam. It's 4 something a.m. in the morning, and a person is just here wasting their life away, bro. Makes no sense. Anyway, y'all, take care. Peace and blessings. I'm out of here. Peace.